Hello, and welcome to Tim Guinee's Acting Masterclass. Today, I'd like to talk about something very serious. I'd like to talk about humor. How to have comic stylings. Now, humor, contrary to popular belief, is actually a science. It is an academic science. It has been extensively written about, and it has rules that must be followed. I'm going to tell a joke now. This is from a 1980s Arnold Schwarzenegger film. Now, I have cleaned up the language a little bit so as not to offend anyone. A lady and a gentleman are together, and the gentleman is committing the act of cunnilingus on the lady, and he says to her, "Geez, you have an enormous lady area. Geez, you have an enormous lady area." And she says, "You didn't have to say it twice." And he says, "I didn't." Now, this is a terrible joke, or so it seems, but what happens? I will transform it with my own comedy stylings based upon the science of humor. I'm going to apply the rule of three. Things in threes are funny. Twos are not funny. One, disaster. Watch what happens. A lady and a gentleman are together, and the gentleman is committing the act of cunnilingus on the lady, and he says to her, "Geez, you've got an enormous lady area. Geez, you've got an enormous lady area. Geez, you've got an enormous lady area." And she says, "You didn't have to say it twice." And he says, "I didn't. I didn't. I didn't." It was an echo, an echo, an echo. So now I think we can all agree, scientifically speaking, and now we have achieved something here. Now, I always believe that you would like the audience to be well ahead of you when telling any joke. I don't want to surprise them. Now, this isn't always possible. There's often someone who gets left behind who's confused, Christopher Heyerdahl, and you have to make it clear for them. You might say something like, "Oh, well, the circumference of your lady area is so vast that sound reverberates inside." And then, I think we've really achieved something. What we can see is that I took something that was not funny, and by using the laws and the academic science of humor, I think that the ribald nature kind of crackled up, it kind of bubbled forth. And what we see is a sort of a zesty mirth that I think is demonstrable at, I would say, at 7.693 on the Martin humor scale, which, as we know, anything above a 6.541 is actually demonstrable as hilarity. So, it's a lot of fun to do comedy, and sorry, I thought about my career.